Emeraldlou. This is my channel on YouTube and I'm so happy to see you. And how are you doing? Well, guess what? There's a brand new show that came out on OWN just the other day, Tuesday, called Delilah. And it's from the creators of Greenleaf, which was one of my favorite shows to watch. So we get to see what the creators of Greenleaf is going to give us now. Originally thought it was going to be a play or something that had to deal with Greenleaf. But from the looks of it, Delilah might be something totally separate from what we were used to. So here we go. Let's talk about and discuss Delilah, Season 1, Episode 1, Everything to Everyone. The episode opens up and guess what's playing in the background, y'all? Mary J. Blige. Because I was like, is that Mary J? But then of course I was like, yep, that's Mary J. You can't deny Mary J's voice. That was her. That was her playing. We open up, Mary J is playing, and then there's a phone text message from a contact called Leah Davis. Then we see the main character getting the kids ready. Maya's playing the violin. She's having this conversation with Marcus, and then she's getting Dion ready. So she's driving and then she's dropping the kids off to school. She's having a conversation with her assistant about her schedule. Then she drops Marcus off to school, tells him not to stay at the park past, I guess, nighttime. And Dion, we then see Dion is talking to his dad, who happens to be Delilah's brother. So Dion talks to his dad. Then Delilah asks the father, aka her brother, about Leah, and basically was like, oh no, she's back again. Yeah, around this time she always comes back, yada yada yada. So then Delilah goes into work. She sees her assistant. Her assistant's telling her about her schedule and says, and oh yeah, by the way, Leah Davis is in your office. And it's like, what do you mean? Well, she said you guys are friends and whatever the case may be. And it's like, well, she's already in there now. What can you do? So Delilah goes in the office. Leah says she needs her help because something happened with the job and, you know, it's going to be big trouble. She got fired for asking questions about a guy and they're watching her. She's about to get evicted. She feels scared and she basically feels like somebody's after her because she was assistant to a CEO and then just now all of a sudden they fired her after firing the other guy. And she wants Delilah's help. Delilah calls her baby father, who's the husband from Acrimony. I forgot what his name was in Acrimony. So the man who played Taraji P. Henson's husband is the baby father in the show. And this is the versatility that an actor can do, from being a hardworking stand-up guy to now being a baby father / when we found out, ex-husband. Then we see Delilah goes to lunch with her friend Tamara. Tamara is played by Jill Marie Jones. And they're just having the rundown and they talk about Leah and they talk about work and they talk about life. It's just two best friends, I guess, having lunch and catching up and having a good time. Tamara asks Delilah to make sure that she promises her she won't take Leah Davis's case, because they've known Leah Davis since they were seniors and Leah was a junior, a sophomore, a freshman. Child, I forgot the word. Delilah goes back to her office and there's this lady asking questions about how big is the office and how many people worked there, and basically being shady. And right when the assistant was like, oh, I'm sorry. No, she asked the assistant, is she usually this late? And the assistant said, well, you could ask her yourself. So when Delilah comes in, she was like, oh, I didn't even notice you were late. They take a walk and basically what's happening is the young lady that came in, she was looking for a job And I guess she Google searched one of the cases to be able to, I guess, get Delilah to see that she knows her or something like that. You know how I tell you when you're going on a job interview to do some research of the company before you go in? I don't never do that. Go to a job interview and I'll find out about the company when I get there. So this is when we start to see that Leah just might be a slow, few screws missing type of person. When Delilah goes to Leah's apartment, it's messy. And basically Leah said something along the lines of, they called me, they want to settle, they're going to give me a year's salary. All I have to do is give over my phone and my, I guess she said laptop or her phone and her laptop, and just sign a paper. Because from what she's saying, they found out that that Leah went to go visit Delilah. Because when Delilah was asking her, well, how do they know you went to my office? She was like, I told you, they're watching me. So they even told her, don't have Delilah look over them, just sign them, make sure that they get it by the end of the day. So when Leah looks over the paperwork, they want passwords to everything. Basically, they want to control her. And then to Leah, she's like, oh, just get a new phone. Okay, you can get a new phone, but it's the same email. So you'd have to have a new email, new laptop, new phone, probably live in a new house. And no, in order to make sure that Leah doesn't make a crazy move, Delilah offers to pay her rent in exchange of her not signing the paperwork so that she could take a look into this and see what's going on. Because of course it's a little suspicious if you got fired and now they're watching you and they want you to sign over this paperwork to have everything. That's a little suspicious. So I don't know if I pointed out, but in the episode, Maya was complaining about her violin not sounding too well. Her friend in the show says, you know, I can have my uncle. That's her uncle? Maybe I didn't hear it properly, but she can have her uncle help her. So they go to see this uncle and he pulls out this violin. At first I was like, ooh, creepy. Why he looking at her like that? Tingle. But the other girl, she wasn't like, she was like, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's not creepy. Maybe it's okay. When she grabs the violin, they said that it belonged to a Miss Virginia who was in an orchestra or a symphony or something like that. And it sounded so beautiful. I don't play violin, so I don't know what a good violin sounds like compared to a bad violin. I don't know. But, you know, this one was crisp. And she's like, how much? Then he was like, oh, can she borrow it? Then it was, can she hold it for a day? And then we basically found out that the violin cost $10,000 because that night Maya got home and asked Delilah if she could purchase the violin. So basically, because she didn't like the answer that Delilah was giving, she was like, well, can I just call daddy? Can I call daddy? I'll go ask him. Can I leave? And she's a teenager. So that's when you're kind of being like, okay, she's a teenager. They go through that. So then we see Delilah's washing dishes. She's looking a little sad. And Marcus notices that his mom looks sad. So Irreplaceable is playing in the background. So he goes ahead and sings along to it and dances to try to get his mommy to laugh because she looks sad. At this point, Dion's looking a little sad when he sees the interaction between Marcus and Delilah. And I was kind of lost. But then, you know, he was like, when am I going to be with my mommy and my daddy? And that's when you're like, oh. Now, I see why he was a little bit sad, because it's like, okay, you and your son are like having fun and laughing, and I don't have my mom, you know, to be able to do that with. And, you know, she's trying to speak words of encouragement to him, you know, well, I love you and I'm here for you. And yes, you're going to be with your mommy and your daddy soon and everything like that. And it's just, you know, she's just trying to help out her brother by taking care of his son, in the time being. Then we see Delilah pop at someone's house, pop up, and the lady was like, oh, are you here for the nanny position? It's just the audacity, but not surprised. So she asked her if she's there for nanny position. She's like, no, I'm Delilah Conway. The lawyer, is it lawyer? That's been trying to get in touch with you. And when that man come outside, he's like, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk. I'm not allowed to talk about it. Don't be asking no questions, because she wants to know about the radios. So his name is Gary Sheck. And he doesn't want to talk about it. Listen, lady, get off my property. She's like, oh, congratulations on your new kid, and yada, yada, yada. But basically, the wife is terrified, and Gary is terrified. So that's when it's like, oh, something's going on. And when Delilah was driving off, we see this guy in this SUV rolling up the window as Delilah's driving on by. And that's when it's like, oh, he is being watched. You know, oh, okay. He is being watched, so he can't talk about it. See Tamara in her office, and this lady was like, oh, the boss wants to see you. So the boss tells her that this guy named Gary Osborne, is it Gary Osborne? No. Phil, whatever Osborne, needs some representation because he's about to get a case that's really wild and crazy. And you know, this is what I would hate to be a lawyer, and this is why I couldn't work in a firm. Every time I see a movie about somebody being in a firm, when their boss wants them to do a case or handle a case, they throw the word promotion at them as a way to bribe them. Well, if you win this, there's a promotion waiting for you. That's the bribery. And I don't need that kind of stress in my life. Listen, it's either you give me the promotion because I've been doing great all this time, and this is, you know, the test. But most of the time when they say stuff like that, it's bribing the people who work at the firm about a promotion. The man wants her to take the case, throws the whole, there's a promotion that could be in the works for you if you win this case. I could never do it because you ain't gonna play my feelings like that. I don't like people playing my feelings, okay? Don't do that. And I'll be mad, but okay. But I'm gonna be mad if he plays with her and then it's like, oh, well, actually, no. So anyways, Leah Davis's old boss that had fired her and Gary is the one that needs to be represented. And basically Tamara sets up a meeting to meet with the man, the Mr. Osborne man, to talk about the case and get it rolling, get the ball rolling, see what he wants, what he needs, and how he can help. And now it's going to be like, okay, well, let's do this. So then we go and see Maya's playing the violin. And at first, you know, it's just she's playing the violin, okay. You know, we just think it's the regular one. We don't know what's going on, if it's the regular one or whatever. Basically, her dad, baby daddy, pops up. He's a little late. And then we find out that baby daddy got the violin for Maya. He said something about he called Miss Virginia, something about $5,000, and I guess he owes $5,000, some stuff. But basically, he got the violin, and whatever the case may be, she was happy, and baby daddy ain't crap. I don't know if I even said this. Baby daddy is not paying child support, and it's only $200 a month. So Tamara and Delilah are back at the house, and they're having drinks, enjoying themselves. And Tamara brings up the case. So basically now they know that, hey, me and you are going up against one another. And this is the first time in the 20 years that we've been friends, that we've been in this situation. And Delilah's in her bed, in her bedroom. And she gets a phone call, and it's from Gary. And he says, can you meet me at the park on Sunday at 5? And he says, I'm not a bad person. He's just like kind of like worrisome. And I didn't like the way it sounded because I'm automatically off rip thinking that, oh, it's a setup for Delilah. And she was just like, okay. And I was like, you gonna go meet him after he told you he's being watched and you saw the man outside of his house? So Dion is supposed to be going to see his mom, and he's excited. So we get to this hospital looking place. And we see his daddy, but his daddy's in a wheelchair. So basically, you know, I don't know, I'm guessing Delilah is the big sister. So she's giving a rundown. Where's his mom? Oh, she's going to be late. Then we eventually find out the mom's not coming. She's already being a mother. This is not what she signed up for. Yada, yada, yada. And it's just like, but she got a son. And he's like, oh, she told me not to go back. And I did. This is what. So it's like he's making excuses for her. And the little boy wants his mama. And it's just so sad because why y'all doing this? Why are y'all doing this? Like putting the kid through this BS. And he needs his parents, and, you know, parents where? Well, the daddy is handicapped, but the mama is nowhere to be found. So that was just a little sad situation right there. I don't know why. I didn't make notes, probably because I don't know his name. So Delilah has this investigator friend. She called him out early on in the episode to get an investigation about Gary Scheck. That's how she was able to locate Gary Scheck. She calls him again. No, she called him for Gary, got the information, tried to figure out what happened. Also looked into Leah to see why Leah got fired. And see, ooh, I forgot all that part. Leah had a domestic dispute police call made out because she went to her boss's house and she was drunk. And, you know, that kind of got her fired, according to the investigation. Then at the end of the episode, towards the end, Delilah sent her friend to go look and see. Gary said that he was being watched. So she wanted him to take a look into that and see if he's really being watched. She tells him to go make a checkpoint by his house because there was a SUV out there and she wanted to see if it was still there. Well, he calls her back while she's at the VA hospital with Dion and his daddy, and Gary's dead for suicide because of a bottle of pills next to him. Coincidence or not? And that's how the episode closes off. I was like, oh my God, what's about to happen? I was like, oh, Gary's dead. Delilah, what is you doing? This is scary. Leah's about to be in trouble. Oh my God. But it was nice to see something new, something fresh. And I enjoyed the first episode. Thank you for watching this first episode of Delilah. I hope you enjoy it. Please like this video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel. I hope you come back for more. I thank you for your view, for your watch, for your support. And we'll do. Thank you for watching my video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel to show it some love. And until next time, you guys stay safe. Thank you.